Opox is family owned and operated, so our family will take care of yours every step of the way. And right now, you can double up and save. Buy a new AC unit and get 50% off a new furnace to match it. Count on Opox for fast and professional heating and cooling services. Count on Opox.
SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same. SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP. Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why? We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP TV. Tune in to Talking Law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill and the special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question, our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man with drum.
What's up, Daryl?
Hey, another day in the neighborhood. Hey, look, before we get started on the show, if you are on Facebook or on the app, you see right now, this is Friday.
Yes.
And you see right now, you see the phone number up there. What that means is if you want to call in, call in.
Yes.
Please,
yes.
call in.
Yes.
And look at, I'm getting a phone and everything.
Yeah,
so,
we're waiting for your call.
So that was, that's what that means immediately.
Yes.
Call in. But let's talk about it. Welcome. No,
Yeah.
I was going.
Okay. Well, remember Roku and
Yeah.
the other devices too. Yeah.
So if you got Roku,
Yeah.
you can watch live.
Yes.
If you got Fire Stick, Apple TV, what is it? The SVP TV app.
Yes.
We got the app out
Yes.
there now.
Yes.
So you can watch live with any of those
That's
things.
exactly right, Daryl.
Got to say welcome to Little Rock. Welcome to California. I can't forget about California. I just keep remembering.
Man, that just blows my mind that we're on the West Coast.
Welcome to West Memphis. Welcome to Memphis, Shelby County. Welcome to Mississippi. And welcome to the great state of Missouri.
Oh, is Mom still here?
Mom's still here.
Man, you got
it. I'm holding her hostage.
I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. You hanging out with your mom, man.
I'm holding her hostage, man.
I miss my mom so much, man.
Oh, wow. Man.
But there, I didn't tell you, though, I was on WLOK on Monday night. They have a show called Let's Talk Law. And so
that's the one that what's her name? Melanie Yielder used to do, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
I was on there before.
And Maya, I know you were on there.
Yeah, I did. Melanie invited me on as a guest once.
Okay, Maya Harris is the host for it. But I was riding around on the 4th of July, headed to one of my daughter's houses, and she said, "I'm here tonight by myself. I don't have a guest tonight, because people were on there on holiday." And I called her, and I said, "I don't want you to be without a guest. This is Jerome Payne." And I spoke up about the show too and told them that
Okay.
that we're here and we're available when she needs somebody.
Oh, my
Just
goodness.
want you to know that, man.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Maya Harris.
And I said the name of the show is Talking Law with Daryl O'Neal. I did not try to take top billing.
All right, y'all. So, look, we want to talk about voting, but we want to sprinkle some other little things in there. But look, if you want to call, the number on the screen, 244-6874, area code 901 if you're out of the Tennessee area. Pick the phone up and call, and we'll take whatever call, and we'll talk about any subject. But we're going to talk about voting a little bit.
Voting, rights, black rights, the climate in our community,
Yeah.
how we are being so poorly served by the politicians in our city.
Yeah, so, most people that are watching this show, or most people that are walking around, have been alive too long to remember that there was a time when people that looked like us couldn't vote.
Couldn't vote.
Most people that walking around can't remember there was a time they used to have what they call poll taxes.
That's right.
Most people that are walking around today don't realize what it felt like to not have that right.
That's right.
And I'm included in that group. So but my point to you is, if we don't vote, because I did a lawsuit against the Shelby County
I remember.
Election Commission.
That's right.
And the issue that I had with the Election Commission is that they were requiring people, they only opened up certain sites. And one of the things that they were doing is that they were, people had to come downtown to vote.
The worst site possible. No parking.
And that, yeah.
It was just terrible.
And they had no parking.
Yeah.
And that means people had to pay for parking.
Right.
And then people had to pay for transportation to
That's
get
right.
downtown.
That's right.
So one of the arguments that I made during that lawsuit was that was analogous to a poll tax.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because you have to pay for transportation.
Right.
You have to pay to park.
Right.
The good thing that came out of that, one of the things that came out of that is they opened up 6 or 7 or 8 spots.
Right.
That people didn't have to pay for.
Right.
So
Right.
that was free parking.
That was that was great, man. I didn't
you know,
realize that.
Yeah, they opened 7, 8 spots for free parking.
That's good.
And the churches, band together and provided transportation to get people down to
And so the NAACP was involved
It was.
also, and the black clergy were
the
involved.
black
as well.
clergy and
Yeah.
NAACP and
Right.
black clergy. Now we didn't win that particular lawsuit, but again, we set the tone that we as people of color are not gonna allow you to take our rights in any way.
You're absolutely right.
We're not gonna let you piece and cheat us and cut and paste our rights away from us in regards to voting.
You're absolutely right.
But so I said all that to say, does it change if you elect somebody and somebody does something simply because they can? Jerome and I had a disagreement last week, and that disagreement was involving the newest Supreme Court justice. President Biden said when he selected her that, not before he selected her,
Sit on the campaign trail.
he said on the campaign trail that my intent is to select a black female to the Supreme Court.
Right.
And let me just tell y'all, I absolutely do not disagree, because there has never been a black female on the Supreme Court.
That's right.
And
Or even seriously considered.
be seriously considered.
Right.
And be truthful with you, in 100 years of the Supreme, in the last 100 years, there's only been 2 blacks on the Supreme Court in 100 years. That being
Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall, and Clarence Thomas.
Darryl, I used to be so excited to tell you the impact of it. I'm sorry to interrupt, but to tell you the impact of having a person of color sitting on the Supreme Court was just tremendous. I used to just absolutely get chill bumps reading his opinions when I was in law school. Mm-hmm. And mostly they were dissents.
They were mostly a dissent being that.
Or what that means is that mostly he was against all of the things that the Supreme Court was doing because they had never had to consider something coming from a black person.
Right.
And his writing was just tremendous.
Yeah.
And he was so thorough in his writing and so critical and so, I mean, I get excited even now thinking about it. And then for us to get somebody like a Clarence Thomas to follow behind him, it's just devastating.
Yeah. And you know, the newest justice. I mean, the jury is still out right now. We don't know what her rulings are going to be like, and we don't know what areas and how she's going to be going. Because one of the arguments that some of the people had about her being selected is that her rulings have been conservative. That was the issue.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that was the issue. It wasn't the issue of a black person or a black female. The issue was, can't you pick somebody else? Like the Republicans.
They wanted the girl out of South Carolina, didn't they?
I don't know who they wanted, but the Republicans pick Amy Barrett Coney.
Yeah.
And she is so far on the right, it's crazy. They pick Gorsuch, who is so far on the right, you just can't even imagine, right?
And then they pick Brett Kavanaugh.
And they pick Kavanaugh, who, if you and I were hollering at a judge from the bench, we'd be disciplined. And he was basically hollering doing his confirmation area. If we exhibited his conduct regardless of what the scenario was.
You are so true.
If we would have exhibited in his courtroom.
Yes.
Had we exhibited that type of conduct in his courtroom, regardless of why we did
That's right.
we would have been disciplined.
Probably disbarred.
I don't know about
for disrespect to the court like that.
Oh yeah, we'd have had issues.
You certainly would have been suspended.
You definitely would have done,
Oh, yeah.
Because they, here, there's been lawyers that have been suspended for disrespect to the court.
Yes.
So where Jerome is of the opinion, black because she's black. And let me be clear.
Don't just say just because she's black.
Right. Well, clean me up,
I'm
man.
saying because
get on me, dog.
I'm saying she was eminently qualified.
I don't disagree with that.
No question about it.
Question.
In fact, she's probably more qualified than any of the judges who are sitting on the Supreme Court today.
Okay, hold on.
Because of her immense experience there.
Let me make me understand this.
Okay.
Here's the problem with that.
Okay.
Right? What is the qualifications to be a judge on any court?
Over the age of what?
Over a certain
35. Yeah, 35 years old.
Over 35.
That's the same thing for President of the United States. But look how we got Donald Trump.
Yeah, over the age of, no, I'm saying there is no the qualifications they're not minimal because you got to have a law degree, and it's only 1% of the society that has that. So it's not minimal.
Okay.
You got to have a law degree.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what college you went to. Doesn't matter what standing you got. You got to have a law degree.
I agree with that. Okay.
And you have to be over the age of 35.
I agree.
That is the only requirement.
I agree.
So there is no eminently you qualify. You graduated from law school and you passed the bar. You are eminently qualified.
Well, no, that's just the first tier. The first tier is that you have a law degree and that you pass the bar. That's the first tier.
Yeah.
The second tier says, what has your experience been like? Because I don't think Amy Coney Bryant ever. What's her name? Barrett.
Yeah.
I don't think she's ever had a client.
Well,
she's never even practiced law. She never went to the courtroom there.
Well,
She's never been in the courtroom.
how
do you conduct yourself?
She was on the Court of Appeals, though, wasn't she?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, even then, she's never had a client. She's never worked with the public. We can look it up. We can look that up there.
Hold on.
But the
that's
question
not-
is,
But why? But that's not required.
it's got to be required. If you don't know how to operate yourself in the courtroom, it's like a surgeon who's never even done an autopsy. A surgeon who's never done anatomy and physiology. How do you operate in a courtroom and never been in a courtroom there? How do you know how to address the court?
Well, here's I'm not certain that I agree with that, because the requirement says that you only have to be 35 years of age. You only have to have graduated from an ABA law school, and you only have to have passed the bar. That is the requirements, and the court is a constitutional court.
Okay.
It's an Article 3 court. It's
Okay.
a constitutional court.
Okay.
That's the only requirement. There
Okay.
is nothing in the Article 3 that's talk about no experience.
Okay.
We would like to have somebody with some experience, but I mean, she served on the circuit court of the Seventh Circuit, so she came from the Seventh Circuit.
Okay.
And then
that's
so-
a very conservative.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt.
Mississippi. But does it say she ever practiced law?
I thought the fifth was Mississippi. You're messing my head now.
She's never practiced law.
Okay, hold on a second. She worked for Shell Oil Company. 7 children, worked for Shell Oil Company. So she's practiced, but she's never had clients, is what you...
I'm saying that she has never practiced law in the courtroom, never had a client.
Wow.
So how do you make rulings about people and you've never actually had any interaction with these people? That's why they're saying that.
Well, it said that she worked at a litigation firm in Washington, D.C. that merged with a Texas firm.
And doing what?
Litigation. While at Baker, she worked on Bush versus Gore, the lawsuit that grew out of the 2000 election. But she said providing research and briefing assistance for that. And then, so yeah, I mean,
Research?
okay, all right, man, I got it. I got it.
Well, that's fine. But there, what I'm saying is that it was a tragedy that she was put on the court in 28 days. Mitch McConnell didn't even give Obama's pick a hearing at all over a year and a half. Mm-hmm. He said that in an election year, we need to not appoint somebody. And then they ran him through, and then they turned around Kavanaugh through, then they ran Coney Bryant through in a very short period of time in order to stack the court.
So, what I do, I see what you're saying, because basically she's been a teacher from 2001.
That's right.
And she graduated from law school in '97.
So she didn't have.
she
that's 4 years.
4 years.
And so she's on a
then
fast track the whole
From 97 to
time.
99, she was basically
Doing research.
Yeah. Okay, I got
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
Okay, I got it.
So we cool now?
We are cool. But where we not cool is, again, 35, law degree,
Okay.
bar. That's all she requires.
And
she meets that requirement.
That's the basics there.
Yeah, but where I was going is,
Okay.
So Barrett, Gorsh, Kavanaugh, extremely right.
All three of them.
And President Biden appoints somebody that's basically middle of the road, middle to the right of the road.
Okay.
So if you truly are doing what you say you're going to do, why wouldn't you do just like these mugs did and go all the way over?
That's because he could have never got her confirmed there.
Oh, he would have.
No,
All he needed was 51.
But no.
No, it was Right now it's 50-50, ain't it?
It is 50-50.
And then the vice president breaks the tie, so
That's
he would have
right.
got it confirmed.
But they didn't want to just have 50-50. They didn't want it
That's
like
how
that.
the rest. That's
So-
how everybody else is getting.
But Democrats are different than
Man,
Republicans.
That's the problem.
They're different.
Yeah, okay.
They have morals.
I don't know
they
about any of
try
that.
and go on the high road. Michelle Obama said when they go low, we go high, and that's one of the problems with Democrats. Obama never had not a single scandal the whole 8 years he was there.
Right.
And then somebody coming behind me, and every week we never knew what we were going to see on TV. Did we? Every week was some kind of scandal that this last president was doing. Man, it was terrible.
Well, I don't
Look,
think.
and then look at Bush.
Junior Bush didn't have
Yes.
a bunch of scandals.
But we used to say he was the dumbest president we ever had at first.
but
because
scandals.
he got us into the Gulf War on a pretense, and when he said that he was trying to do something to my daddy, and so he attacked
Hey,
the
dog,
country,
I
man.
ain't mad at you. Hey, you mess with my daddy, dog. I'm gonna attack you too. So I ain't mad at him for taking up for his father, man. No, I'm just messing.
But
with
what
you.
I'm saying, Daryl, is that look at the kind of candidate that they put forward versus the candidates that Democrats put forward. Think about it. Bush. What did he do prior to that? He was CIA director.
Was it
wasn't
Daddy
he?
Bush?
No, Junior Bush.
Oh, Junior Bush was the governor of Texas.
But he was CIA. He was over the CIA too.
No,
or
that was
something like
Daddy
that.
Bush.
That was Daddy Bush.
Junior Bush, man, was governor of Texas.
Okay,
That
was his claim to fame.
Well, that's a governorship is a
What?
preliminary to being a president.
Well, remember now, there's no requirement that you have there, right?
It's not. 35 years old.
But anyway,
You didn't even require to have a degree to be president.
Anyway, we digress. This woman now, females are at least 50% of the population there.
Yeah.
And black females have been the most loyal voters for Democrats for years. So why should they not have someone who looks like them to be on the Supreme Court? Why?
I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, and look, I'm not suggesting that Jackson is a bad pick. Okay, I'm not saying that either, Jerome. But where I am saying is I can't be like you, that's ecstatic just because she is there. Because number one, we don't know what she's gonna do. Okay. Number two, her history doesn't bode well for. I represent employees.
Right.
That's who I represent.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't make no bones about it. I am not a Democrat. I am not a Republican.
Okay.
I make no bones about that.
Okay.
Okay. I make it crystal clear that I'm not either one of those mugs.
Okay.
I don't want nobody to associate me with either one of them.
Okay.
Okay. But I represent employees. So I'm about employee rights.
Okay.
And when you take employee rights from them, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, I got an issue with it.
But the problem is that she has to follow the law. The law is skewed against employees.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. How can I help you? I'm good. Hold on a second. Let me get this thing right here. Yeah. I'm doing good. How you doing? Hello?
You probably muted him, didn't you?
You hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, hold on a second. Go ahead and say something.
Quick speaker button.
My man said, do your speaker button.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
I do hear you, but for whatever reason, my speaker button is. Okay, go ahead. I got you now.
Okay, you got me?
Yeah, man. Too many moving parts, man. We start messing with you. What's going
Man,
on?
I hear you. I was just listening to you guys, and I know you were talking about the confirmation of the Supreme Court justice, and you're right. But you got two senators that probably Democratic senators. I think it's Munson. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's a female out in Colorado or
That's right.
somewhere.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Krista Cinema. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, they list themselves as Democrats.
Yes.
But a lot of times they ain't going that way.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? They're always.
Oh, so
holding
that was
out.
an issue with they said that they wouldn't support anybody that was too far the other way. Those two senators. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So that became the issue.
He had to get somebody who could be confirmed there. Otherwise, she would have never made it. Because if those two dropped out, and then it picked up 3 Republicans, I think.
Yeah. What was you remember what the total was on that for Jackson? Caller. Did I lose him?
No, he probably just said what he wanted to say. He just wanted to straighten you out. Thank you, bro.
Okay.
Power.
Okay. All right. Okay. You got me on that. Yeah. But
He couldn't have gotten anybody confirmed there.
Oh my goodness. I mean, hold on a second. Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. How can I help you?
Mike Williams again.
Mike, what's up, man?
Man, I'm good. For some reason, we got cut off.
Yeah. So you saying, Mike, it was 2 that were not gonna go the other way? Is that the reason why they had to go get with somebody with Jackson that was kind of middle to the right?
Yeah, because if you watch how they've been voting, it's these 2 senators that's been kind of iffy
Yes.
on almost everything that they tried to push through.
Yes.
And like I said, one of them is Munson or something like that, and I think he's up on the East Coast. And then you have a white female that's out in Colorado or Nevada or something like that.
Yes.
But
Okay.
they're always iffy about
Yes.
everything that the Democrats want to do.
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about that, but I wanted to ask you, because you said we could talk about anything.
Oh, absolutely, man. You my guy too. You know, you can talk about anything anyway.
Yeah.
Coming up in this election here in Shelby County, you also have a referendum that's going to be on the ballot to extend the term limit. How do you feel about that?
I absolutely hate it, Mike.
And I do too.
And here's the, and you want to talk about the most racist referendum. Now y'all gonna make me say something now. You want to talk about the most racist referendum that ever existed. That's it. Because the reason why they put term limits in is because they wanted Harrington out of office.
There you go.
And that was only a black issue.
They wanted Harrington out. They wanted Joe Brown out. They wanted Swearingen out. They wanted Lowry out, because all of them had been in like 10, 15, 20 years.
You're right. Right.
So it wasn't just Harrington. Yeah, they wanted Harrington out, but it was all of those African Americans that had entrenched themselves because they were doing things for the community, and they didn't want them there. That was when Strickland came in. Strickland was in that class. It was Strickland. It was what's that? He went over to the chairman's circle. Flynn, George Flynn, but it wasn't George Flynn. It was his son.
Okay.
It was all of them that came in during that class. And as soon as they got in there, one of the first things they did was put a referendum on the ballot to limit the term limits. And now here it is, you got Martavius carrying their water. Whereas, they always find somebody, brother.
You mean the same one that shut the school, that closed down Memphis City schools?
Yes.
Yeah.
And now there's Shelby County schools, but it's predominantly Memphis City schools because all of the outlying schools, that was a play too, man, so that they could establish their own school districts, because they didn't want to be a part of Shelby County schools. And once they got that passed, and then they did legislation up in Nashville to allow them to separate from the Shelby County school system so that they could establish their own school districts. And now you have predominantly Memphis City schools, and now they want to rename it again, if you haven't heard, Memphis School District. Ain't that crazy?
we're going all the way back to what it originally was.
Exactly.
But when you
we've
fight,
gotten rid of, or we've allowed them to exit out and
Yeah.
now they get the federal funding and the federal dollars,
Right.
and we contributed all of the money that the Memphis City citizens have contributed to the establishment of those schools, to the upkeep of those schools. And I think, they just went to court last year or something like that, or with Germantown, and Memphis had to give them those schools. You know what I mean? So they tax the citizens of Memphis. They come into the city of Memphis to do all the things that they want to do and need. They utilize all of the money and the tax base for the city of Memphis, and then they turn right around and do what they want to do. So now you got this referendum that they've encouraged, because if you remember initially, Jim Strickland was not in that referendum.
Correct.
And then they turned around and said, because they think if they put him in there, because he's been a popular mayor, if they put him in there, then it would pass. Man, but the citizens had already spoken and said, no, when they approved the fact that they didn't want extended term limits, and I am hoping that they don't go back on what they originally said, because, these politicians think that citizens so quickly forget, and they do, and it also goes back to what you were saying when I was listening to you. We don't vote.
No, we gotta do something.
We don't.
Mike, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the call,
Thanks
man.
for the call, my man.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, man. Always good talking to you.
Hey, you too, Doc.
All right, bro.
Bye.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, appreciate that call
My
from
man.
Mike Williams. And when is his show on, Daryl?
So Mike does a
360.
360.
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
does Memphis 360.
Memphis 360.
And
It's on Thursdays.
On Thursdays.
Yeah.
And so I always want to give Mike a shout out, y'all.
Absolutely.
All right, well, look, we talked about a lot of stuff, but more than anything, we argued about a little
No,
bit.
that's good.
But
It's
that's good.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
And look, we always appreciate you watching the show. The phone lines are always open. If you got, and like Mike said, if you want to ask any questions about any topic, we'll be gladly to take that topic. So again, thank you for watching our show. We'll see you back next week. Hey, why don't you pick the topic next week? Call us in, send us an
I
email,
like
send us
that.
a text, put it on Facebook. Pick a topic that you want us to talk about involving legal matters, and no matter what it is, we'll talk about it.
I like that.
And if you got, and like Mike said, if you want to ask any questions about any topic, we'll be gladly to take that topic. So again, thank you for watching our show. We'll see you back next week. Hey, why don't you pick the topic next week? Call us in, send us an
I
email,
like
send us
that.
a text, put it on Facebook. Pick a topic that you want us to talk about involving legal matters, and no matter what it is, we'll talk about it.
I like that.
Thank you, and we'll see you next week.